So in today's lesson, we're going to look at 4 different reasons why you might lack confidence when you speak English. And if you stick around until the end, then I'll give you 3 simple ways that you can use to gain more confidence speaking English now. Because here at Real Life English, every single week, we help you go from being a lost and insecure English learner to being a confident and natural English speaker. So if that sounds like what you want for your English, then be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell down below now. Now, a very possible reason that you might not feel confident speaking is that you simply have not practiced doing it enough. This is because the more that we practice doing something, the more confident that we feel doing it. For example, imagine that you just have gotten your driver's license. Now, you might feel comfortable driving around your neighborhood, but if you have to go to another city or you have to drive on the highway, then it might be a really nerve-wracking experience for you. And now think about anything that you do well. Maybe you're great at playing the guitar, or maybe you can cook amazing meals for your family and your friends. But can you remember back to when you were first learning doing that thing? Do you remember how insecure you felt? How many doubts and questions you had? How unsure you were maybe having to do that thing in front of or for other people? Feeling unsure about your skills when you're learning something is just part of the process. And the same is true for your English. The more that you practice it in a variety of situations, the more confident that you're going to feel using it whenever you need it. Now, another reason why you might not feel very confident speaking English is because you simply have a lack of feedback or validation. This is especially true for those of you that have been learning English alone at home. Now, if you don't have an English-speaking friend or a teacher that you're practicing with, then it's natural that you could feel a little bit insecure, even though you might already have pretty good speaking. One great way to boost your English fluency is by talking to people. You get to have a live conversation where you can, in real time, see if the person is understanding you or not. You can gauge your English fluency and see what vocabulary you might be missing. Now, it might not seem like it by watching our videos, but all of my life I've suffered from shyness. Now, I have found that for myself, a great way to increase my confidence was by getting out of my comfort zone and going to language exchanges in my city. This forced me to actually start practicing the languages I was learning with other people, and I could get instant feedback from them and see where I still needed to work on it by myself when I got back home. And the really great thing is that this not only helped me to increase my confidence in these other languages I was learning, but in my mother tongue as well. Now, maybe it's your case that in your city there aren't any language exchanges, or you simply live in a small town and you just don't know anyone who you can speak English with. Well, we've created the perfect solution for you. On the Real Life app, you can speak English anytime, anywhere with people from around the world and discover other cultures. Check out what one of our app users, Arix, said about her experience using the app. It is an incredible opportunity to practice. The people on the other side of your call are usually super cool and patient if your English is not very good. Thank you. So just like Arix, you can have really fascinating conversations with people from around the world and improve your confidence speaking. Maybe you can even share these tips with someone else and help them to improve their confidence too. So what are you waiting for? It's absolutely free to get started. Just click up here or down in the description below to download it, or you can search for Real Life English in the Apple app or Google Play Store. Now, having a past traumatic experience with English can also cause you to lack confidence. Maybe you had a conversation with someone, but you completely froze up and forgot everything that you had learned. Maybe you said something wrong and someone laughed at you, and this made you feel super insecure about your speaking. Or maybe you even had a bad teacher who humiliated you and was overly critical. Maybe you got the chance to go abroad or travel and you just felt stupid because you couldn't get what was in your mind out of your mouth. It's super important that you reflect a bit on your own experience and think about any of these negative experiences that you might have that are affecting your current relationship with using the language. Let's go back to the driver example. Maybe you feel like a really confident driver, but then you get in a crash. This might make you really doubt your skills as a driver. Some people might even choose to never drive again. But most likely, at some point, you're going to need to drive yourself from one place to another. You can't completely depend on other people to do it for yourself. And the same is true for your English, right? You're at some point going to need to use your English to get something that you want. Be that you want a job opportunity or you just want to be able to travel and speak to locals. So just because you've had negative experiences in the past does not mean that needs to repeat itself in the future. The only way to regain your confidence is by using your English as much as possible and practicing it deliberately. But maybe nothing that we've talked about so far actually applies to you. Maybe you've already had plenty of opportunities to use the language, you've never had a traumatic experience, and you have plenty of people surrounding you that support you. So if it's the case that none of these things are affecting you, then you might need to look inside. You might need to look at your own mindset. Now, your mindset is your beliefs and how you view the world. And if you have a fixed mindset, then this might be limiting you in a lot of ways. It might be causing you to think that you will never be able to be fluent because maybe you don't have an innate talent, or because you weren't born with parents who are rich and can pay for you to have private classes. However, when it comes down to it, passion is so much more powerful than talent. If you create a really deep, burning desire, a really deep purpose for why you need your English and why it's so important for you to be fluent, then nothing can stand in your way. And this will help you to change from having a fixed mindset to having a growth mindset, which means that you start seeing that you just need to work harder in order to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. Your results aren't just based on your genetics or based on the opportunities that you were born with. Now that we've looked at some of the reasons why you might not feel so confident speaking English, let me give you some practical tips that can help you start improving your English confidence right away. So the first one is to speak from day one, which probably isn't possible for you if you're watching this video. You've already been learning English for a long time. So the advice for you would be to start as soon as possible. Start right now. Download the RealLife English app and go have a conversation there. Or if you have an English speaking friend, ask them to start practicing with you. Or even better, if you can hire a teacher, I highly recommend this because that gives you a place where you have a lot of trust with this person, and that will help to cut down a lot of the uncomfortable and insecure feelings. Ultimately, confidence comes from practice. The next tip is to create scripts. Now, this could be thinking about any sort of situation that you need to use your English in and trying to write yourself out a guide that's going to help you get through that situation. And to really practice this already at home so that when you get into that situation, you'll feel a lot more confident in it because you've already done it. So just to give you some examples, one really simple one, even if you're an absolute beginner, is to write out your introduction. So this could be saying, hi, my name is, this is what I do for a living, I'm really passionate about A, B, and C, these are my hobbies, my family, I'm married, I have a wife, I have a husband, whatever it is for you. Thinking about this, writing out some bullet points and practicing that over and over and over again by yourself, because you're going to need to do this all the time anyway. So whether you go have a conversation with someone on the RealLife app, or maybe you get the opportunity to travel and you meet other travelers, you will feel so confident talking about yourself because you've already practiced it so many times at home. And this could also be for a job interview, writing out what questions you might expect and answers to that. It could be ordering your coffee at the cafe that you like to go to. So the more that you create different scripts for yourself for a variety of different situations, the more confident that you'll feel in virtually any situation because you've already done so much practice, you've figured out what vocabulary you need, and you are really just ready to affront any challenge. Finally, just memorize some really interesting questions. Now this could be, how are you? What's up? These kind of things that we use as greetings, but they could be also things like, what are your hobbies? What do you do for a living? What did you study at university? What are you really excited about in life right now? And you can get super creative with this, but just have them already prepared, already thought of in your head, so that when you get in a conversation with someone, you won't have these kind of stalls, these pauses where you're not sure what to talk about or you're not sure how to keep the conversation going. And this is really great because it takes the pressure off of you to speak. You can just be a really good listener because everyone loves to talk about themselves. And usually this will still give you a lot of speaking opportunities because after you've asked someone, what are you really excited about now? They might explain theirs. Maybe they have started brewing their own beer and they might ask you, do you like beer? What kind of beer do you like? So I want to hear from you. Did you find any of these tips useful? Are you going to try them out? Or what other things are you going to do to start increasing your confidence in English? Let me know down in the comments below. Check out what other learners said because maybe it'll give you even more ideas. Ah, yeah. But wait, we're not done yet. We prepared a special treat for you. Now, before we talked about mindset, so what we're going to do now is give you a reflection exercise that's going to help you really think about your attitude towards learning the language, because this is really going to help you break down your barriers so that you feel more confident, more courageous, and more able and natural in any situation that you find yourself in speaking the language. So find a nice quiet spot, grab a piece of paper, maybe grab your favorite tea, coffee, or drink, and let's do a little bit of reflecting. Feel free to pause at any moment if you need a little bit more time. Let's go. Learning a new language can feel uncomfortable sometimes. Do you embrace that discomfort? Are you willing to get out of your comfort zone and take risks? Are you comfortable looking silly or even stupid? Are you so attached to your identity that you can't try new things? Are you too perfectionist? Are you practicing your English every day or only when you have time? Do you tell yourself that you are a bad English speaker? Do you apologize for your bad English when talking to people? Do you worry too much about what other people think about you? Why are you learning English? Do you have a strong reason? Is this reason compelling enough for you? Is it inspiring to you? Do you have a clear vision for yourself and your English? Are you shy or an introvert? This can greatly affect how confident that you feel speaking English, or even speaking your mother tongue for that matter. This may even cause you that when you get opportunities to speak, you avoid them because they make you feel uncomfortable. Well, believe it or not, I'm an introvert as well, and have no worries if this is getting in the way of you being able to communicate confidently, because I made this lesson to help you do just that if you are shy or introverted. Let's check out a clip from that. So let's actually start out with a quick test. So first off, do you feel more energized when you are you prefer working on projects what sounds like a better Friday night to you? You are